Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I have the honor to present to the closing plenary the final report, the summary of the report of the Roundtable, the Post-Secular Dialogues, Mount Athos and Practical Implementation of Traditions. The Roundtable attracted a lot of interest and was very well attended. We had 18 high-quality scheduled presentations. 3 additional short presentations were made. The discussion was moderated by Oleg Zinkovsky and me. Topics that were discussed included the following: the dialogue between God and man in the Holy Eucharist, Athonite institutions and their influence in the Orthodox world, digitalization and maintenance of the cultural tradition of Mount Athos, the tradition of Athonite printmaking, special editions with treasures of Mount Athos, libraries and vestries of Mount Athos, the hesychastic tradition of Mount Athos and Romania, cataloging the Byzantine music of Mount Athos, Edward Lear's paintings of Mount Athos, St. Andrew Foundation and Mount Athos and its significance for contemporary Western Europe, Athonite tradition in Russia and its significance today, the importance of Mount Athos for mankind, Athos icons and exhibitions at the Hermitage, Orthodox roots in England and the importance of Mount Athos Utopias, a cartographic afterwar in Thomas More Utopia Island, a UN resolution for the interpretation of human rights in line with its country's tradition was mentioned in the context of a discussion of the Avaton, the non-accessibility of Mount Athos to women, and the main theme there was that the Avaton does not run counter to human rights. The final topic was the influence on Mount Athos and the revival of orthodoxy in Russia. The participants noted with appreciation the resolutions of the Mount Athos conference held last June in Weimar in Germany. There was general agreement as to the importance of Mount Athos for mankind, the need to protect and preserve the spiritual and cultural tradition of Mount Athos, and learn from the experience of Mount Athos in addressing contemporary problems. It was also agreed that 2 Mount Athos conferences, in 2011 in Salzburg and in 2012 in Weimar, were a good start, and their wish was expressed that these efforts should continue. There was also unanimous support for the need to support, in particular, the restoration of Athonite monasteries, such as, for example, the great monastery of Hilandar after the 2007 fire, and also the preservation and edition of Athonite treasures. There was also wide support for the need to disseminate information about Mount Athos, its principles, and its way of life, including through modern means of communication. It was widely felt that this matter merited further research, thought, and discussion. Finally, and I conclude with this, participants agreed that the principles of the ascetic life of Mount Athos may provide a diligent path of authentically spiritual life in our all too secularized, materialistic, and cynical modern society. This concludes the report of the Roundtable on Mount Athos, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bazinas.